I'm Lee Spencer with RacinBoys.com, and I'm joined by championship team owner Roger Penske. Boy, it's been one hell of a year for you, hasn't it?
Well, I think about as we started in Daytona and started the 24-hour and then moving on into IndyCar, and then to see this whole championship unfold here over the number 38 weekends and to culminate here in Las Vegas, sitting up on the stand there with Joey and the team and sponsors and Ford Motor Company. And obviously my wife, I said over 45 years, that she hangs around with me is amazing. But it's just hard to believe. And, we're going to be back at it again next year. But each year we set this bar a little bit higher, and I think that's what makes us so good.
You've assembled such a great...
Thank you.
You've assembled such a great group of drivers. The future is just amazingly bright for Team Penske.
Well, I think that's part of the success is we call it the human capital, call it the people. It's we've got to provide a driver with the best race car, and to me, looking down the road, guys like Blaney, people like that we have, even Elio and the guys back in the early days on the IndyCar side, Rick Mears. But to me, it's those guys that deliver, and we're a family. You think about the team and the people, they want to work here, and you look at the number of people in our organization. I think over 200 have been with us more than 10 years, and I think that's the bedrock. That's the championship capability that we have within the team. And when we go to Indianapolis each year, we have sometimes 600 years of experience in the pits. To me, that's the continuity, and that makes a huge difference.
We didn't get a chance to talk to you after winning the Brickyard 400 either. I mean, that was something that had been on your bucket list for a long time. To get that and the Southern 500 in the same year is pretty spectacular.
Well, Indianapolis, that's my dad took me there in '51. That's been the hallmark of our racing successes, and we just were second there, and finally, Brad comes through and a great call by Paul Wolf to win that, and then the Southern 500. We've been close. You got to go back to Bobby Allison. We won that back many years ago with a Matador, I think. So at the end of the day, every one of these milestones, within our career in 2018, just makes us a better team.
You talked about the kid that got the go-kart under the Christmas tree, and I mean, I almost wondered how you got through that point, just reflecting on that, because it's like you just never imagined that kind of a dream can come true.
It's crazy. You never thought that driving, just wanting to be a race car driver since you're a little kid and wanting to, just go home every day and drive in the yard. I would just drive by myself. I'd just go make laps and made a little racetrack because I made so many laps that it kind of wears in a track in your backyard and sometimes the neighbor's yard, and there's sprinklers in their mailboxes. But, that's what I love to do. And I'm just lucky enough that I got to live out my dream and finally get to the top. It's so cool.
We were sitting there looking at Chase Elliott, and, the guys were joking about it was kind of a laydown. And it's like before it was even determined, everybody kind of just conceded that to him. What do we have to do to get to a sport where we have guys at the level of the Jeff Gordons, the Tony Stewarts, the Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s, and raise that popularity level across the board? Yeah,
it's I think Chase is a deserving member of that. He does a great job as our most popular driver, and I know we joked about it some in the video there, but we all knew that. You can tell just by the t-shirts walking around. But like I said in my speech, love me or hate me, the fact that you love NASCAR means the most to me. Honestly, that's what keeps every one of us that are standing around here employed, and that's a big deal for the growth of our sport. And for me, I'm a fan before I was a driver, and I'm still a fan before I'm a driver. And I think when you think of what it means just to watch racing and to be a race fan and watching it and enjoying every second of it, that's me. That's who I am. So, and I'm passionate about the people I like and the ones I don't root for and other sports, right? You have to have that. You have to have the ones you really like and then the ones you don't. That's just part of it. And I think being a hard racer sometimes, yes, that's what brings on the booze, but that, like I said, doesn't bother me because I just know that they're passionate people, and I like that people are passionate.
Roger was very gracious, said, Barney, we're going to miss you. You're a man of integrity.
Yeah.
This is kind of mixed emotions coming in here.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I think, for me, it's yes, we're sad that we're second, but at the same time, it was great to be able to get up on the stage and thank Barney because, I think it's special. It's an important time, to be able to get up there and say those things and just really pass on the word for the team and represent the team like that, and so all our fans can kind of see it. And I was glad he was here. He wasn't here last year. I wish he was here last year, not this year, to be honest. But he's done so much for all of us, like I mentioned up there, and it's hard. You get 2 or 3 minutes to say a few things, and I'll never be able to tell him or express just how much it means to me, what he's done, and what the last 5 years mean to me, and the things he's done for my career. So. Sad times, for all of us, and I know Cole's in a tough spot. He's getting ready to move, and he's like, he's sad because today was his last day at the shop, and the cars are lined up and getting ready to, be shipped off. So, end of an era for sure. But we had a hell of a good run, and came close to being a storybook ending.
When you think about the last decade, I mean, he's an American. Success story. You know about that. Your family, they're an American success story. What do you see as common parallels between your family and Barney's?
A lot. Really a lot. Close, tight-knit family. Self-made from hard work and determination and teamwork and just a great work ethic. Reminds me exactly of my family and the way their business was started, their passion for racing, their love for the people around them, and I think Barney loved racing more for the people that he employed and the opportunities that he was able to give people to work in racing than he was about winning or winning the championship or whatever, bringing trophies home. For him, it was exciting to see people succeed and him give them that opportunity. That's what I got from him. That's what I learned from him. That's what I respect so much about him.
Have you already been over to Joe Gibbs Racing, and if you have, what do you think?
Well, I've been there many times. For really the last 3 seasons as we raced together, I've been there a lot. So I mean, it's not like I'm going to a new team per se. It's really something familiar. Like I keep saying, it's a lot of people there. I know the systems. I know how they do things. They know what to expect out of me. I know what to expect out of them. I think it's really why the decision came to like that was the right place to be, was because of all those reasons. So in a lot of ways, it's not really starting over. It's just a continuation of what we've been doing the last 3 years, and hopefully we can make that happen.
That comment you made about Chase Elliott joking about not being most popular. What do you guys what do the veterans of the sport, the other 3 that were in there, have to do to be the next Dale Jr., the next Jeff Gordon, the next Tony Stewart? Where are we going to get that star power from?
Well, that's never going to happen. I think as you look at our sport and you look at the Elliott name and the Earnhardt name, those are names that a guy like myself and Clint Boyer and Kyle Larson are never going to overcome. You will never have the southern, the southeast fan base that an Earnhardt or an Elliott has. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. What did Mike think then when you jumped? I mean, I've never asked you this. I've known you for years, but what did Mike think then when you got into what was then the 3 car?
Mike?
Your dad.
Yeah. I mean, it's that those are situations that really the only reason that I went to RCR was to race with Dale Earnhardt. That was the deciding factor. That was the deciding factor to go to Richard Childress Racing, and because of the fact that you wanted to be in the same environment as Dale Earnhardt. So, but those were real conversations that he and Ron Hornaday and myself had when we were making the decision, sitting on Ron's deck of what we were going to do.
You talked about, how thrilled you were about this season because of what happened before. Do you regret not making the move any sooner than you did? I mean, you were extremely loyal to RC because he gave you the opportunity, but do you ever regret not taking that leap earlier?
Well, I mean, there were opportunities to go earlier, but I don't ever feel like there was an opportunity that was was there. It was kind of my own worst enemy there for a number of years, because a lot of people didn't want to work with me, and then the opportunity came with Stewart-Haas to be able to go there and not have that be such a part of getting the job and getting in an environment of someone like Tony who just wants to win races and was a lot like me was something that was a good fit, and in the end there's just some places for me that I'm not a good fit because of the fact that I'm a pretty straightforward. I'm not politically correct. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'm a lot better at giving it and delivering it, and the things that I do in the car and on the radio are a lot better than they used to be. But some people can't take truthful criticism well.
And for me, I guess I look at this one as certainly a detrimental loss for how our season was, how fast we thought we'd be, how good our car was all season long, and just the missed opportunity that Homestead was. I mean, we were just, we were out to lunch. Flat and simple. I don't know how we finished fourth. If that caution didn't come out, we were going to be 14th. It was going to be pretty bad. So overall, just you look back on 18, and I guess I got to remember the amount of wins that was this year, and winning the Coke 600 and winning at every single racetrack, being able to accomplish that and cross that off the list. But that's pretty much it.
With the amount of money that Toyota spends, how can you guys possibly be out to lunch? I mean, compared to Chevrolet especially.
Well, we were out to lunch at Homestead, so it just happened to come down to the sim, to myself, to Adam Stevens, us. Adam and myself, we got to take full credit for it. Obviously I'm the most expensive sim tool we got in being behind the driver's seat and feeling everything and being able to tell and talk about what our car is doing and what it's not doing right. And we attacked all the problems in practice and tried to get the most out of our car, and just didn't quite press the right one. We fixed some of the problems we had in practice, but then the race changes we made just undid all of that, and just kind of took ourselves out of the picture.